So Marvel have announced some huge changes to Phase 5. Recently, Disney put out a statement saying that they're going to drop a lot of the content next year. So they released a whole bunch of content, right? Specifically centered around Marvel. Since Disney bought Marvel, they've just been pumping out Marvel movie, Marvel series, Marvel short film after one another, right? Like, it was just insane the amount of content they were pumping out this year. And a big criticism for Disney and Marvel that I had was just way too much content. Like, it was so overwhelming. Fans couldn't keep up. I'm a film fan and a Marvel fan, so I can't just spend all my time watching Marvel stuff because I've got to watch other things too. I'm a filmmaker. I like watching good films, indie films, drama films. So if I want to watch all the stuff I want to watch, I can't possibly keep up with Marvel because that would occupy all my time. So it was just way too much they were putting out. They realized Phase 4 just was a bit lackluster, didn't live up to expectation purely because they just put out too much. They didn't allow anything to sit. They didn't allow the needle to move forward in the cinematic universe the same way they did in Phase 1, 2, and 3. And so now they've announced that in 2023, they're going to be putting out a lot less content. And that just makes me so happy after 2 days ago putting out a video about how they put out way too much. Maybe they've seen the video. I doubt they have, but they just announced that they're going to be putting out a lot less content. Now, another thing I think they can make a change to for Phase 5 and what Phase 5 can do that would be a lot better than what Phase 4 was just keep it linear. Keep it moving forward structurally. It's going a bit too wayward, and I feared that would be the case when they opened up the universe, right? When they made it a multiverse, I feared, okay, there could just be one too many subplots, you know, little subplots here, and it sort of directs your attention away from the main goal here, which is to keep that linear structure in the MCU. I think with having too many multiverses around, it just distracts people, overclouds people, and is way too overcomplicated. I think it's easy to understand when you work for Marvel, so the people strategizing and coming up with the plan for how they want the MCU to move forward in the future, they understand it because they see the whole picture. But what they're failing to do is put themselves in our shoes, in the audience's shoes, and see how confusing they've made it for us, because they've made it way too confusing. Even the most die-hard Marvel fans are confused, and if they're confused, that means the average cinema goer, the average movie watcher, just a family that wants to have a good day at the movies, put on Disney Plus after school, after work, there's no way they're going to keep up because everyone else who's a super Marvel fan is also confused. So I think they failed to put themselves in our shoes, in our boots, and see how confusing they've made it. So I hope that for Phase 5, by tapering down the amount of stuff they're going to put out, it allows them to keep a linear structure and to never put out a series or a movie that doesn't keep the pin going, that doesn't keep the needle moving in the same direction, right? I think there's just been a few too many things here where it was like, oh, that was a good movie, that was a good show, but it pushed nothing forward in the MCU. Like, if that movie didn't exist, the MCU would be exactly the same. That happened with Doctor Strange. There was really no point. That happened again with She-Hulk. Absolutely no point. And I think it's fine to have those subplots, but as long as there's something in there which keeps it moving forward, I'm happy. So hopefully they can achieve that through tapering down the content, putting out less content, and they've learnt their lesson from Phase 4, which is great. I'm glad that they've announced that they're changing it, that they've realized they've made a mistake, because that's something a few other production companies, DC, haven't really owned up to. They never own up to their mistakes. So I'm glad they did. I'm hoping it can be better for Phase 5. Let me know your thoughts down below about what you think they can do better for Phase 5. If you think putting out less films and series is better, let me know down below. If you liked the video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on my next video.